Welcome back to Deep Jungle, Wild Beasts. Today, we're going to witness a battle of epic proportions, where a massive and powerful Komodo dragon will face off against a feeble deer that's only good at crying out in desperation. But don't jump to conclusions just yet, because this battle will make you rethink everything you know about warriors in the wild. The Komodo dragon, with its unmistakable imposing appearance, is the largest reptile on the planet. Don't let its seemingly indifferent demeanor fool you. A Komodo dragon doesn't need to rush after its prey. It's not like other predators that hunt with speed and urgency. On the contrary, it's the master of patience. A Komodo dragon will stand still for hours, as if it's meditating, preparing for the perfect trap to strike. It's almost like it's participating in a world's quietest competition, and when it does strike, nothing is gentle about it. A sharp bite, a powerful slash with those enormous claws, everything combines for a battle that's hard to describe. Picture the deer desperately trying to break free, flailing its tail in a futile effort to escape. But it only serves to make the Komodo dragon even more intrigued. Imagine the deer thinking, "I'm sure I can outrun it." But after a while, it realizes that the more it tries to run, the more it gets caught in the trap of the dragon. And guess what? Even if the deer manages to escape momentarily, it's just a fleeting fantasy, because the Komodo dragon has already marked its prey with its keen sense of smell. So, how does a Komodo dragon kill its prey? Well, here's where it gets interesting. It's not like a dramatic showdown you might expect. A Komodo dragon, with its incredibly strong jaws and sharp claws, uses its power to tear into its prey. But what makes its attack special is its secret weapon, its venom and bacteria, its saliva. Then Benem-cc Hun-Himogen getting bitten by one. And inside that dragon's mouth is a cocktail of bacteria that can cause serious harm with just one bite. Even if the deer somehow escapes, the bacteria and venom will cause it to lose blood quickly, and in just a few hours, the poor deer will succumb. We're talking about a creature that not only knows how to strike, but is also a master in using time to slowly wear down its prey. You could say it's the master of waiting for the perfect moment. If you don't believe me, just imagine living in a jungle full of Komodo dragons. Every step you take needs to be cautious, because one misstep, and you could become their next meal. And don't think these dragons just stick to the wild, untouched forests. Recently, they've started expanding their empire into human settlements, making life a little more tense for the locals. Just imagine a Komodo dragon casually wandering around your garden. Your chickens, pigs, or even cows could easily become their next meal. So, how are farmers protecting their livelihoods from these relentless invaders? Farmers in Indonesia have had to adapt to this situation. Some have built strong fences to keep the Komodo dragons out. But be careful, these dragons aren't the type to be easily deterred. When they spot a target, they'll try to scale the fence, and when that happens, you need to have an immediate action plan in place. Also, some farmers have partnered with wildlife conservation experts to create protected areas, aiming to reduce the number of encounters. But there are also some pretty interesting stories. For example, some locals have shared stories about seeing a Komodo dragon camping right in their garden, as if it's looking for a long vacation. It's such a bizarre sight that you can only stand there with your mouth wide open, watching the dragon casually enjoy its late dinner. So, if you're planning to visit Indonesia, be careful of these quirky creatures. Who knows? One day, you might come across a Komodo dragon strolling around your neighborhood, smiling and greeting you like a local. But don't forget, stay calm, because when it's focused, you're the perfect target for a truly grand meal. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our wild and dramatic journey. In some areas of the Flores and Komodo Islands, farmers report losing about 27% of their livestock each year due to attacks by the mighty Komodo dragons. This isn't just a shock to their budgets, it also creates serious financial challenges for the farming communities. To help you imagine it, it's like investing in a large farm, raising precious animals, only to lose half of them because they're served as the Komodo dragon's dinner. So, what do the farmers do to protect their property? Don't worry, they've got some strategies to handle this. First, They set up traps near areas frequently visited by the dragons. When they're lucky enough to catch one, they relocate it to wildlife reserves. This way, both the livestock are protected, and the Komodo dragons are ensured a safe space to live. It's all about a fair game. The dragon survives, and the livestock doesn't end up on its dinner plate. But that's not the only method. Can you believe that farmers also use a highly effective approach to deal with these uninvited guests? Yes, you guessed it, guns. That's right, Komodo dragons aren't always the friendly creatures you see in nature documentaries. Every year, between September and November, Komodo dragon hunts are organized, and the hunters here are the superheroes of the community. A hunting group typically consists of 4 to 6 members, all highly trained to face the challenges that these giant reptiles present. The adaptability and opportunistic feeding habits of wild foxes have brought them into direct conflict with Australian farmers, leading to significant ecological and economic consequences. These cunning creatures are especially drawn to chicken coops, where they often hunt under the cover of darkness. Their stealthy, nighttime attacks are swift and driven by their instinct to hunt for food. A single fox can kill multiple chickens in one night, resulting in substantial losses for farmers. In response, Australian farmers have implemented various methods to capture these pesky predators. One of the most common is the use of cage traps. These traps have an automatic locking mechanism that activates when a fox steps inside to retrieve bait. Once the fox is inside, it's unable to escape, effectively containing it in the cage. Another method used is jaw traps, which are buried beneath the soil. When a fox steps on the trap, its leg becomes securely held, preventing it from escaping. Farmers check the traps daily to minimize the suffering of the trapped animals and handle them carefully to avoid being bitten. Every year, these traps help farmers capture tens of thousands of wild foxes in Australia, significantly reducing their population. However, for long-term population control, farmers often resort to hunting. Humane hunting must be carried out by skilled and experienced marksmen, as it's not an easy task. The fox hunting season typically takes place in late autumn and winter, when foxes are more active and their fur is in prime condition. Popular hunting areas include rural farms and dense forests, where the density of foxes tends to be high. However, the hunt is not as straightforward as it sounds. Firing too many shots can alert other nearby foxes, so farmers take a strategic approach. When they spot a fox, they don't shoot immediately. Instead, they carefully observe its movements and wait until it stands still for a better shot. To locate the foxes in the dark, farmers use rifles and high-powered spotlights. When a fox's eyes are illuminated, they reflect light, creating a distinctive gleam that allows hunters to pinpoint their position from a distance. One of the main advantages of nighttime hunting is its efficiency. Foxes are most active at night, particularly near farms that contain livestock or poultry. By hunting in the dark, farmers can target these elusive predators when they're most vulnerable. Hunters must possess precise shooting skills and strictly adhere to legal regulations regarding firearm use and wildlife control. It's a delicate balance between protecting livestock and ensuring that wildlife populations are managed responsibly. This behavior, while perhaps a natural part of their survival instincts, has proven problematic for farmers who rely on their livestock for their livelihood. States like Florida, Texas, and other areas in the southeast have been particularly affected by this sudden influx of vultures. While these birds are naturally drawn to areas with carrion, they've begun to take advantage of human settlements. Vultures can often be seen gathering in large flocks, perching on rooftops, trees, and even vehicles, which disrupts urban landscapes and causes significant property damage. This behavior has become more frequent, leading to an increasing number of complaints from residents. The sight of vultures circling overhead or sitting ominously on rooftops can leave a feeling of unease. It's a strange situation, as people typically associate vultures with death, making their constant presence unsettling. But the problems caused by these birds don't stop there. Vultures can also pose a real threat to public safety. They tend to gather near busy roadways, creating a hazard for drivers. The large flocks can block visibility, causing accidents, and their sudden flight can startle drivers, making them more likely to crash. The biggest challenge, however, is that vultures are protected under federal law. This means that farmers and residents cannot simply take matters into their own hands by killing or trapping them. Federal protections make it illegal to harm or kill these birds without the proper permits. If anyone is caught violating this law, they can face hefty fines of up to $115,000 and even jail time. This leaves farmers with limited options for dealing with the problem, as they can't directly remove the vultures themselves. That said, there are a few strategies farmers and residents have resorted to in an effort to scare the vultures away. One of the more common methods is the installation of electric shock lines on rooftops. These lines deliver a mild electric shock when vultures land on them, which doesn't harm the birds but is enough to scare them off. This technique has proven to be effective in getting the birds to leave the area. Some farmers have also turned to sound and light-emitting devices. These devices are designed to simulate the sounds and images of predators, such as the cries of hawks or the movement of other animals that might pose a threat to the vultures. By creating the illusion of danger, farmers hope to frighten the vultures away and keep them from settling in the area. While these methods have had some success, they are not foolproof. The vultures often become accustomed to these noises and devices over time, making them less effective in the long term. Another method farmers have used is to target the vultures' roosting spots. Vultures typically prefer tall trees with wide canopies, which offer them good visibility and protection. By trimming tree branches or cutting back the tops of these trees, farmers make these areas less inviting for vultures to roost. While this can be an effective tactic, it requires a lot of maintenance and may not completely eliminate the problem. The situation with vultures is just one of the many challenges farmers face when it comes to wildlife management. Moving further into the rugged wilderness of the United States, farmers in states like Alaska, Montana, and Wyoming deal with another formidable challenge: brown bears. These powerful creatures, particularly the grizzly bear subspecies, have a diet that includes a wide range of foods, from vegetables and fish to livestock. While these bears play an important role in their ecosystems, their interactions with farms are less than ideal. Hunting brown bears is a demanding and intricate task, requiring a combination of skill, knowledge, and the right equipment. Farmers who engage in bear hunting typically do so during regulated hunting seasons, which are set by state wildlife agencies to ensure the bear population remains balanced and sustainable. These hunting seasons are often scheduled for times when bears are most active, particularly in the fall when they are preparing for hibernation. During this period, the bears are more focused on gathering food, making them easier to track. Before embarking on a bear hunt, farmers must acquire the proper permits and make sure they have the necessary equipment. The hunting of such a large and powerful animal requires high-caliber rifles capable of bringing the bear down in a humane manner. Tracking a brown bear is no easy feat either. It requires patience and a deep understanding of the animal's behavior and territory. Farmers and hunters alike spend hours or even days scanning the landscape for any sign of bear activity. This includes tracking bear footprints, finding scat, or noticing markings on trees where bears scratch to mark their territory. In some cases, specially trained dogs are used to track the bears, a method that is more common in areas where bear hunting is a tradition. Once the bear is located, the next step is to approach it carefully. Brown bears have an exceptional sense of smell and are highly alert to potential danger. Hunters must use the wind to their advantage, ensuring they stay downwind of the bear to avoid detection. This step requires extreme caution, as an agitated bear can be incredibly dangerous. When the time comes to take the shot, precision is vital. Farmers and hunters are trained to aim for vital areas like the heart or lungs to ensure a quick and humane kill. A poorly placed shot can cause the bear to suffer and become even more dangerous, which is why many hunters prefer to shoot from a distance where they have a clear line of sight and a stable position. After a successful hunt, the retrieval of the bear's carcass often involves a team effort, as brown bears can weigh several hundred pounds. The meat of the bear is typically consumed or donated, while the fur is used for various purposes, including making clothing or accessories. The process of hunting bears is not only about protecting livestock and land but also about respecting the bear's role in the ecosystem and ensuring the hunt is conducted responsibly. Coyotes present another challenge for farmers, albeit in a different manner. These opportunistic predators often target livestock, and a single coyote can kill multiple animals in a single night. As their population has exploded in recent years due to their adaptability, controlling their numbers has become a pressing concern for farmers. Unlike brown bears, coyotes tend to live in pairs or small groups, which makes them more effective hunters. Their high reproductive rates also contribute to the continuous need for control measures. Coyote hunting is an art in itself. Farmers often begin by studying coyote activity patterns, looking for signs such as tracks, scat, and markings. In some cases, trail cameras are set up to capture images of the coyotes and help determine the best time and place to hunt. The equipment used for coyote hunting is typically high-powered rifles, although shotguns are also common, especially in areas with dense cover. Electronic collars that mimic the sounds of distressed prey, like a rabbit or another coyote, are also used to lure coyotes in. These collars are positioned at a distance from the hunter's position, and with a remote control, the hunter can turn the sound on and off to draw the coyote in. Coyote hunting typically takes place in the early morning or late evening, when the animals are most active. Farmers position themselves in areas where coyotes are likely to travel, such as near livestock yards or fields. Camouflage is crucial because coyotes are highly perceptive and can easily detect anything out of the ordinary. Patience is key, as it can take time for a coyote to respond to the call and approach within shooting range. Once a coyote is in sight, the hunter must act quickly, as coyotes are fast and agile. A well-placed shot to the chest area is critical to ensure a humane kill. After a successful hunt, the coyote's fur is often highly valued, particularly in regions where fur trading is common. In some cases, hunters may also donate the carcass or process the meat, depending on local laws and regulations. As with bear hunting, coyote hunting serves as a method of controlling wildlife populations, protecting livestock, and preserving the balance of nature. Feral hogs, originally introduced by early settlers, have become a major nuisance for farmers across the United States. These highly adaptable animals are prolific breeders, capable of producing several litters per year. Their rapid reproduction rate, combined with their destructive behavior, has led to a feral hog population of over 6 million across the U.S., with high concentrations in states like Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Feral hogs destroy crops, compete with livestock for resources, and can even spread diseases that affect both animals and humans. Hunting feral hogs requires a different approach than hunting other animals. Due to their intelligence, social structure, and nocturnal habits, feral hogs can be difficult to track and hunt. Farmers often scout their lands for signs of hog activity, such as rooted soil, wallowing areas, and tracks. In some cases, trail cameras are used to monitor hog movements, which helps hunters determine the best time and place to set up. The equipment used for hog hunting ranges from rifles and shotguns to bows and traps. High-caliber rifles are typically preferred to ensure a quick, humane kill, given the size and toughness of feral hogs. Night vision scopes and thermal imaging devices are often used when hunting feral hogs at night, as they are most active during this time. Bait, such as corn, is sometimes used to lure hogs into specific areas where hunters can take a shot. For a more aggressive approach, farmers may use specially trained dogs to track, bay, and hold a hog in place until the hunter arrives to make the kill. This method is particularly effective in dense brush where visibility is limited. Another common method for controlling feral hog populations is trapping. Large, reinforced cages or corral traps are set up in areas known to be frequented by hogs. These traps can capture multiple hogs at once, allowing farmers to reduce their numbers quickly. Once captured, the hogs are usually dispatched humanely, and their meat may be processed for consumption, donated, or sold. However, it's important for hunters to take precautions when handling the carcasses to avoid disease transmission, and proper cooking is essential. In some regions, hog meat is processed into sausages or other products, providing farmers with an additional source of income. The meat can also be used for personal consumption or shared with others, making hog hunting a valuable resource for farmers trying to control the feral hog population while mitigating its impact on their land and livestock. Each of these challenges vultures, brown bears, coyotes, and feral hogs represents a unique aspect of wildlife management that farmers across the U.S. must face. While hunting and other control measures are necessary for protecting livelihoods and preserving land, they are also subject to regulations and ethical considerations. The balance between conservation and agricultural needs continues to be a complex and evolving issue, with wildlife populations constantly adjusting to the changing human landscape.